Hello friends I made this for. My name is Lauren and I love talking about astrology, tarot, and the toxic world of coaching. As someone who got out of a coaching cult, I know all too well about certain tactics. And you know what? I didn't think I was going to record more than one toxic spirituality / coaching bullshit video this week. And yeah, here we are. And I'm hyped. I'm really hyped because this is a learning experience. This is not here. Let me get this out of the way. This is not intended to bring hate to this person, but every interaction that I have had with this person is a teachable moment. So I'm going to share with you the teachable moment I experienced. So maybe if you are a coach, you cannot make these choices. And also if you see this shit happening, be able to avoid working with those people. Because honestly, again, I'm not going to blast this person. I'm not going to say who they are. I'm just going to really try to avoid what sort of coaching they do, because ultimately this is not about putting hate their way. It's about stopping the bullshit. We really need to stop this bullshit. So if you follow me on TikTok, you've already heard me kind of talk about this, but let's dive into a little bit more content. And of course, if you've never been here before, please, check me out if you want, like, follow, subscribe if you enjoy what I have to say. And of course, my link tree is down below if you want to get shorts of this same sort of shit. I also do TikTok lives of all sorts of things like tarot tips and whatnot. But first, let's acknowledge I just got my nailies done. Here for it. And let's just dive in. All right. So a very good friend of mine runs a small business, and their small business has a copyright name. They kind of did something that I had never seen before. They were kind of the first person to do this really cool thing. And I really I'm so proud of them. I love the work and intention they put into this product. And the product has a copywritten name. So the other day, I see that there is someone out there who is sharing their own version of my friend's thing, which is kind of lame because, you could just help promote this one person and work together and maybe collaborate together rather than just taking the idea and repurposing it as your own. But whatever. It's not like it's an idea that can be like that my friend wants to be copywritten and just like them alone can have it, right? The real problem is that they're using the copywritten name my friend has for their product with their product. I hope that's not getting confusing. So this is a problem of trademark. And if you are a small business owner and you don't understand that, baby, please Google it. Because if you are a responsible business owner, you have to do better. You have to know what is legal and what's not legal. But the problem, I think, with a lot of coaching people is they don't understand that. They don't understand how that can be problematic, or maybe they even do and they just don't care because they just feel like, well, no one's going to notice me, right? Babe, you fucking got noticed. And that's the thing. If someone trademarks like the name of the actual product, it's on you to do the research to make sure, one, that no one's used that name before so your materials don't get confused with each other, especially if this is a spiritual tool that's being used. You should do that work. You should do that work, but also you should know that it's going to be a problem if you don't do the work. So that's number one. So I'll admit, right here and there, now, right here and there and now, I was really public about my call out and feedback being like, this person has on their Instagram 46,000 followers, but my friend has, I think, maybe a little over 10, if not a little below, around that. So my friend, in theory, is a smaller business than this creator. That doesn't sit well with me. I'm a mama bear when it comes to the people I love. So I call out, I speak out, I speak up, you know? And right away, responses from Homegirl, the person who owns this other business that bit off my friend's business, is using really dismissive language, laugh crying emojis, like, yikers, right? We're already off to a bad start. It's unethical to be doing this shit in your business where you are just like not doing your research for your product first and how you're going to name it and how you're promoting it. Because the name that she's promoting her product with isn't even on the thing itself. It's just in the promotional of it. And like, that's a problem. I don't know if you know this, but small business owners, you can't do that. So this is something that is fixable. It is something that could be fixed or like corrected. But laugh crying emojis is not correcting a mistake. It's giving, sorry, hun, I don't have time for you. Which is very coaching program, if I'm being honest. The coaching industry is rife with people who are not being ethical and they are not being mindful and they dismiss people who call them out. And this is a huge problem just in general with this coaching industry, any coaching industry. It doesn't matter what kind of coach it is. There are so much unethical practices and so much like belittling of people who are raising real concerns. If you've never heard of the podcast, Love and Light Confessionals, they've been doing a lot of work talking about this shit because it is very important and it's very pervasive. Again, I have a whole playlist about toxic spirituality. It starts with me coming out of a coaching cult. So I've seen this shit. I've seen a lot of this shit, but this interaction that I'm sharing today, again, it's a learning experience. There are a lot of problems that I saw that can be avoided. So let's go on. So that was a public comment. And I made sure to reassure this person. I reassured her. I was like, listen, the issue is a trademark issue. You have 46,000 followers. That doesn't make sense. Her response was that she was a small creator. Again, you're 4 times the following than my friend. So something's not adding up here right off the bat. But one of the most problematic things is that you're really just dismissing me full out and not even paying attention that if this is someone that inspired you, you should at least be willing to go like, hey, I was greatly inspired to make my own version of this and I want to honor that. But of course, there's not anything anywhere about her doing that for her product. She's not calling out my friend's products. She's not referencing like, hey, this is really cool and I was really inspired by you, blah, blah, blah. Nothing. She's really just kind of acting like this is her concept and she's made it up. And like, look, that's kind of grifty on its own and it's very, very on brand for a maker like this. Oh, but it gets worse. But the problematic behavior continues because she hits me up in my DMs, of course. She hits me up in my DMs and proceeds to call me out in a few ways. She starts by saying that she doubles down on that she's a small business. And of course, if that's the case, there's something else unethical that is happening that is very pervasive in the coaching culture. Like, hello. But here's the issue. She comes into my DMs, and instead of acknowledging what I have to say, it's more laugh crying emojis, and then this shit really got me. And this is the thing that I really want to highlight today, because outside of the unethical business practice of kind of like straight up stealing content, names, like actual like labels and like promotions, there is also the issue that I'm kind of understanding that she probably bought her followers, which again, not very ethical, if we're being honest. It's just not the most ethical choice to buy followers. And then when someone is like, hey, why are you stealing this from a smaller creator? Be like, I'm not big. Oh, so you bought those followers. Great. She proceeds to tell me that I am coming after her because me, I have a lack mindset, and that I am wrapped up in the patriarchy, and that I have a mindset of lack because of that. Hun! Before saying that, she also mentioned all these things about how she's a mom, going back to school. So it's like there's a lot of projection there, because you're telling me that you saved up all your doll hairs to buy the minimal order, but then turning around and saying that I have a lack mindset. When I just told you, legally, you're making bad choices as a business. Because legally, you can get in trouble for this. Legally, it's not good. Like you're a business owner. You should know this. This proceeds to go back and forth a few times. Again, I keep reminding her that I am calling her in, and that she needs to be, this is what accountability is, that if she wants to honor the creator, she should. She begins to say, like, I do honor this creator and their work is great, but mine is very different. No one has trademark over the moon and cycles. And whoops, maybe I gave too much information. And proceeds to just make up like all these excuses, meanwhile hammering back that I lack abundance, because if I wasn't lacking abundance, I wouldn't be doing this. Whoops. That's really fucking telling. Can we just like stop for a second? This whole, and it's so funny because I literally earlier this week recorded a video about the abundance ick. This conversation is so dismissive. It's so much left emojis. It's so much I am coming after her. And I even say, like, you can ignore me. You don't have to take my feedback. But my response to her was, please don't project that onto me. And she just keeps doubling down on it. And this is what I really hate about the coaching industry, is that people like to call into question other people's mental health and mental stability. They're all of this when, first of all, if you're a coach, that does not make you qualified to speak on somebody's mental health at all. It doesn't. Legally, again, this is another legal thing, and I think a lot of coaches fall into this problem where they don't understand that there is an issue legally with making claims that are unethical. And this is one of them. Telling me that I have a lack mindset, that I lack abundance, and all of that is an unethical move for any creator. I'm saying any creator, because you do not have the background to say that, and you are weaponizing your opinion of my mental health against me. That is never okay. And this is so pervasive through these coaching circles that coaches will be so fucking brazen to say this shit to people that they do not know. This woman doesn't know me, and to be fair, I don't know her either. all I see is another business who is biting off my friend's idea, specifically using their trademark. That's a problem. That's a legal issue, and I'm bringing it to your attention. But what's so wild is that warrants her response attacking my mental health, regardless of me saying to her, please don't do that. I'm just letting you know about trademarks. This is such a problem. This is super problematic, and it's so normalized within the coaching industry to say shit like this, because it's also the way that a lot of these coaches kind of coax people to work with them, where it's like, oh, you don't want to pay my big ticket like coaching program? Well, it's because you have a lack mindset. Come back when you don't have a lack mindset. Like, that is a scheme to get people to sign up for their coaching programs. But weaponizing it against people that you don't agree with? Yikes. Big fucking yikes. Do not do this shit. If you are a coach, I want to really encourage you to think about lack mindset and how you're utilizing that language. Maybe throw it out the window. Because here's the thing about it. First of all, you're weaponizing language against me because you want to dismiss my feedback and my opinion. I am just a random person. So I'm not entitled to you taking my opinion and accepting it as truth or accepting what I'm saying. That's fine. This person so far hasn't blocked me and hasn't deleted my comments. So at least there's some form of accountability that's there. That's really cool. But I'm also not entitled to those things staying up or her responding to me. That's fucking fine. And she has every right to just block me and ignore me. Like, that's not outside of her right at all. She has every right to do that. It is not ethical and it is not right to dismiss people in a way that calls their mental health into question, because this can affect people's mental health in an awful way. When I talked about in my video about the low vibe lie, I talked about how that language was weaponized against me in a way that deeply affected my mental health, because I was already going through a mental crisis. So weaponizing language like that has the potential to really harm someone. I was very close to making a bad lifelong choice, or well, not a very lifelong choice, finite choice, right? So I'm in a really good place, emotionally, spiritually, mentally. I probably the most healthy I've ever been in my life. Thank you, Jesus, for that. But with that said, what if I wasn't? That would be really fucked up of someone to say to me, especially if they don't have a background, at least not that I can see, of therapy. And if they do have a background in therapy, that's not ethical to say to someone. I can't stress this enough. There is so much unethical shit in the coaching sphere. It needs to get called out, but coaches hate being called out. And they will use their dismissive language to just tell people, no. You could just say no. You could just say, yeah, I'm not listening to this. This is bullshit. I don't agree. But no. You got fucking feelings, and so you decided to throw hands. You decided to throw hands because I hurt your feelings. So what's the takeaway? Takeaway one, if you're running a small business, do your research. It doesn't matter how small or how big you are responsible and accountable for what you produce and how that might be interpreted or might run over other small businesses, okay? Okay. 2, Weaponizing language like you just have a lack mindset. If you had abundance, you wouldn't be coming after me. Babe, that's fucking problematic. That's really problematic. You are not qualified to speak on anyone's mental health. You are not qualified to speak on anyone's mental state. I don't care if you're a mindset coach. What the fuck does that even mean? If you're a mindset coach, what qualifications does that even mean? And that's the thing. Qualifications within the coaching industry are paper thin. There's really nothing out there that keeps it stuck together. And coaches of all sorts will buy a bunch of followers to look valid, but then if someone calls them out for being a big creator who is stealing ideas and copyright, they'll just turn around and be like, I'm not a big creator. Which is, you know what? Just be who you are. Stop pretending. And what's crazy to me is like, this is a creator who is like, in the coaching sphere, you in theory are trying to help people. But instead of helping my friend and their business, you just saw what they were doing and were like, I'm doing the exact same thing. In that you're using the exact same name for your product. Yes, the inside might be different. I really can't say because they have, like, she has really avoided sharing a lot of the inside pages. I will say the little bit that I saw of the inside pages, there's a few things that are sus in that they're so similar, but it's really not the meat and potatoes of the problem. The problem is using a copywritten name in a way that infringes on somebody's copyright, and then being uber dismissive when someone calls you out on your bullshit. So that's my takeaways, friends. Let me know, have you seen this within the coaching sphere where people like create a product and it's just like somebody else's that they just repackaged with even the same name? I'd be so curious because I really am like so like confused by this. It's confusing to me that someone who is like, I'm here to help people, would be so dismissive and so rude. And then say to me, if that basically talk to me like I'm being mean, like I'm not being nice, and that I'm just a bully. I'm going to use my fidget. It's going to make me feel better. But anyway, yeah, let me know what your thoughts are. Again, I'm not going to be saying this creator by name. This is a teachable moment. Please do not look for this person. Please do not hate on this person. This is a teachable moment we can all learn from. Don't do these things. Don't buy followers and then just say, oh, this isn't reflective of my business. Oh, come on. We can do better. We can do so much better. But anyway, again, if you want to check out my other videos about toxic spirituality, make sure to check out any of, videos, playlists, subscribe, all that's popping up around me. Anyway, until next time, bye-bye.